This is my rain bicycle. Make and model, Priority 600. From the factory, it comes with these wheels, big chunky tires, a dynamo hub at the front that powers front and tail lights, comes with reflectors on the wheel and frame, and kickstand. I added the pedals and the bottle cage. The bicycle features a mid-mounted pinion gearbox. It's a mechanical gearbox that's cable pull. The cable runs up here to the shifter. There are no batteries, and the mechanical gearbox is connected to a single sprocket. Features a gate carbon belt and a single speed sprocket at the rear wheel. All the gear changing takes place internally this pinion gearbox here. I added some pedals that match my shoe and some old bottle cage. Everything else completely unaltered. The bicycle is really good at what it's advertised to do. It was designed to be a low maintenance, very nearly no maintenance, just grab and go. So your priorities be not bike maintenance, but being with the people and doing the things you want to. The bicycle does that rather brilliantly. It really is just a grab and go bicycle. However, I want to make some changes to it. Namely, it's about the wheels. 650B size wheels and huge, massive, chunky tires, which I think are heavy. These tires also serve as the suspension of some sort to the bicycle. Maximum pressure in this is 50 psi, so when it's sensibly inflated, this is your suspension system. It doesn't have any shocks or forks or springs or anything that could be compliant. The frame has some compliance to it, but it's all in the tires. That's nice for a relaxed, comfy commuter ride. I want to change that. I want a stiffer wheel, a 700C wheel with a skinnier tire that's also a lot narrower. That makes the ride more jarring. The reason for it is I want to go faster. I also want to eliminate this otherwise brilliant front dynamo hub, which makes electrical power and powers the front light, very nice, and on the rear fender a tail light. That's nice, I don't have a problem with that. And by disconnecting the lights from the dynamo, I'm aware I need to carry different lights on the bike that will be battery powered, but I really want to eliminate the friction and the weight of the dynamo hub and softness of the tires. So I ordered different wheels and tires. The hub on the rear wheel is as light as it gets. However, I want two changes. I want a different sprocket just to change the transmission ratio of my drivetrain. And I want, instead of a 650B, I want a 700C larger diameter wheel with skinnier tire, because chunky tires weigh a lot. So I want as much weight saved as possible for the rear wheel as well. This dynamo hub is a significant source of friction. This is not brake rub. This is the magnets in the dynamo lining up north-south, north-south, north-south. This. So this wheel is not spinning freely. The dynamo constantly saps power from the rider. So let's see if I can come close to replacing the front wheel with something that fits the same spacing, the same distance and the same diameter that's made here in the fork for the axle. It shouldn't be rocket science. The bike is suspended here and is almost at rest. So with fenders, kickstand, one bottle cage. Let's see how much this weighs. Looks like 32.4 pounds or 14.6 kilograms. It's a monstrosity, to say the least. Yes, heavier bikes exist, but this is a pig. So let's have a look-see. 2,355 grams, not touching anywhere. Nice. So this is what's gonna be replaced with a lighter one. And finally the wheels have arrived a month past their promised delivery date. Nope, they haven't started making it until a week and a half ago, according to their shipping tracker. The wheels came with this card that says wheels were laced, trued and shipped by the same person, RC. My spoke length is 291, 295 for the front wheel because of the disc dish. 293, 293 on the rear, symmetrical, with a spoke tension of whatever that number is. 1, 2, 3, scribble, 1, yeah, whatever. And I have some warranty details on that. On their website, the wheel was spec'd as follows. I wanted DT Swiss G540 700C rims with that kind of hub, that kind of spoke, that kind of lacing pattern, that kind of nipple. The total wheel build should be, including rim tape, for which I paid $6. It should all be 1,014 grams plus change. Let's see. Yeah, I'm balancing it just with one finger there. And there it is. Pretty good. Very nice. Very impressive. And it's going to get a tube and a tire about 740 grams, just roughly. It's gonna be this Continental Ride Tour 700 by 32. Yeah, right here at the hole. I guess it would be too much to ask for a hole in the rim tape. That might cost extra. Okay, I need a discount just for this. Nice, the wheel is staying, balancing itself, and it's 1,764 grams. All right. Since the maximum Luftdruck is 80 psi, I inflated it to 80 psi, and now it weighs 1,772 grams. Yes, air weighs something. Next thing to do, put some brake rotor on. During the wheel building, wheel specking, it was not possible to specify brake rotors to be included. Why bother? Nor was it possible to add quick release axles. That's too much to ask, I guess. One very last weigh-in with the brake disc mounted and the 6 bolts torqued to that 55 inch-pounds of specifications. 1,886 grams final weight. So with the front wheel removed and the front wheel ready, let's see how this fits. Brakes and all. I say you'd agree that this fits flawlessly there. The spacers end is perfectly housed in the forks end. Nice. The wheel even turns around. That's a plus. The other spacer and the fork end interaction there is perfect. The brake might need a minor adjustment sideways, but this one fits. That was a lesser miracle. Santa Maria Bella Donna, grazie, as my mother would say. Closing the cam, we'll push the brake rotor a little bit sideways, just a smidge, but it's still within the brake caliper. That's nice. Yeah, it's just rubbing just the lightest little bit. Super easy to adjust it. And we've got nice and even clearance on both sides of the brake disc. Nice. So not only this wheel is 469 grams lighter than the previous one, but also all the internal friction of the previous dynamo hub has been completely eliminated. So right now the only friction is the new bearings friction inside the hub, so the wheel stops wherever it does at whatever point. Guarantee there is no contact. There's clearance on both sides again, so the brake pads are not touching the brake disc. The wheel stops the way it does because the bearings in the hub need to be run in just a handful of kilometers. On a well run in bearing, for contrast, let's take a look at this worn pedal spindle. This runs for longer and freer and easily, so that's a well used spindle bearing. The wheel is gonna spin freer in just a handful of kilometers. I'm gonna deal with the rear wheel replacement later. Weight saving is not an issue here. I have different design considerations. I'm waiting for a tool to arrive, and I'm gonna have a different sprocket size as well for the rear hub.